Hi, good morning. My name is Misha Teasdale. I am South African. I was born in Cape Town. I studied industrial design. I did my master's, my thesis in sustainability, specifically water management. Just turned 30. It's quite a big thing for me. And I'm excited about the future. I studied industrial design at Cape Technicon in the Western Cape. I think for me, the reason I studied industrial design was because it was more of a problem-solving course than anything. For me, design is life. Design is everything. Anything that's organic and inorganic, whether it was designed by nature or designed by man, I think it's such an integral part of society and the way we live, and obviously extremely important. So I really appreciated the idea that if I could study design, I could do pretty much anything. I did my thesis year in water management, looking at stormwater drainage. Apparently the South African government spends up to 20 million rand a year clearing stormwater drainage, so I thought there's definitely an interesting topic here, and yeah, it was a great course. I think growing up I suppose was a bit of a mixed bag. I loved brands. I used to write the names of brands all over things, which is quite sad considering the person I am today. I was big into sports, I suppose. I played rugby and broke my collarbone. I played hockey and got my shins beaten up. I loved surfing and bodyboarding, so I spent a lot of time in waves. I loved girls, so I spent a lot of time kiss catching.
Okay, so there's a lot of outdoor stuff there, a lot of environmental stuff.
Yeah, I definitely spent quite a lot of time outdoors. I remember my mum and I we had a bit of a routine. Every Sunday we used to climb a mountain together, and not necessarily a massive mountain, but it was a great kind of every week a habit of, this is what we're going to do. Sunday we're going to go climb a mountain. And for me it was quite an exciting prospect. It always made me feel really good.
Okay.
I have a good friend called James Cumming, and he's a bit of a dreamer, much like myself. And one day he came to me after a few too many beers and said, I'd like to drive through Africa, and I think you'd be a good person to come along for the mission. Would you be interested? And the next morning he phoned me up and he said, remember we had that conversation last night? Well, we're having a meeting today and you need to come. And I was like, oh, I don't remember the competition, but yeah, let's go for it. And so we laid out a map on the kitchen counter and started looking at all the amazing, wonderful, far-off places that we could go. And yeah, that's where it started. And it landed up being a year's worth of preparation and then another just short of 7 months worth of driving 172,000 kilometers. 172 days and I think it was about 13,000 kilometers, something like that. It was a long way.
What was the overall objective of that project?
The project was called Love to Africa, and we were the Doing It for Africa team. The idea was really to map out community-based organizations, NGOs, people working on the ground, specifically in a grassroots environment, and give them in some way a voice. We were looking at management structures, wish lists, who was working and doing what, seeing if there was some opportunity for connectivity between them, and then exposing them to corporate social investment opportunities, as well as potentially volunteerism. We visited over 60 organizations between Cape Town and Ethiopia, and it was really great to actually leave the beaten path and go and engage with amazing communities and see things that a lot of my friends had never been able to see, and I was really privileged to go out there and do that.
Nowadays, what kind of occupies your spare time? How do you?
I've heard of this thing called spare time. I don't really know too much about it.
Okay, so would you say then that you're kind of your personal life and your professional life kind of converge in a way?
At the moment, I'm running an organization called GreenPop, and I run it with my partner and girlfriend, Lauren O'Donnell, and one of my good friends, one of my oldest friends, Jeremy Hewitt. And we all live in the same space as well, so we are pretty much permanently working on GreenPop. Yeah.